When we think of North Korean agriculture, the image of buffalo pulling plows usually comes to mind. But behind those fields stand machines with a double purpose. Tractors capable of plowing rice paddies and towing artillery. From the como.yt to the modern como.yt.contacto, these giants reflect ingenuity, propaganda, and military power. Today, you'll discover how a simple tractor became the symbol of an isolated nation. After the Korean War, which ended with an armistice in 1953, North Korea began a process of industrialization with the support of the Soviet Union, aiming to equip its several million-strong army with everything it needed in weapons and equipment. Military and agricultural industrialization. Huge machinery factories were built where cannons, ammunition, and military equipment were produced in massive quantities. And at its core, an army is a vast logistics network. Already in the 1950 seconds, besides importing ready-made GSN-ZIS trucks from the Soviet Union, North Korea began manufacturing its own versions in local factories. It wasn't just about trucks. Tractors also had a double role, with both military and agricultural importance. In addition to working the fields, they could operate as artillery tractors. Even today, it's not entirely clear which of these functions was more crucial. It's possible that, without military needs, tractors would have been an extremely rare sight in the country. The Kon tractor factory. With Soviet assistance, the North Koreans built not only irrigation channels but also the first tractor factory in the city of Kon. Construction began in 1954. The plant, completed in an impressively short time, covered an area of about 400,000 square meters, of which 140,000 square meters were dedicated directly to production workshops. The total capacity of the factory reached 10,000 tractors per year, and that was just the tip of the iceberg. Rumor has it that similarly sized underground facilities exist today, where specialized chassis for ballistic missile systems are assembled, with nearly 20,000 workers operating in these subterranean workshops. The first North Korean tractor, como.yt. The Soviet Union played an active role in building the Kon tractor factory, supplying machinery, engineers, and technical documentation. It's no surprise, then, that the first tractor to roll off the assembly line was a copy of the Soviet T-28 tractor, produced at the Vladimir plant in the USSR. In North Korea, this model was renamed como.yt, inspired by the mythical winged horse Kala, which according to legend could travel 500 kilometers in a single day and escape any mortal who tried to tame it. Today in North Korea, the name Kala is more than just a tractor brand. It also appears in a Pyongyang metro line, several trolleybus models, and the Chollima 1 rocket. Kala even represents a massive workers' movement similar to the Soviet Stakhanovite movement of the 1930 seconds. For North Korean ideology, the winged horse symbolizes progress and the nation's forward momentum. It's no coincidence that the national football team also carries this name. Initial production and technical evolution. The first como.yt tractors were produced in 1958, assembled from imported Soviet parts. Over time, North Korean mechanical engineering gradually succeeded in producing many components locally. The como.yt was a general-use wheeled tractor, traction class 0.66, equipped with a 2-cylinder, air-cooled, 4-stroke engine producing 28 horsepower. In later models, a 4-cylinder diesel engine with a displacement of 4.1 liters and 50 horsepower was installed. While the USSR produced the T-28 between 1954 and 1964 before the Vladimir plant moved on to more advanced models in North Korea. Due to limited technical infrastructure and financial difficulties, production of the como.yt continued for several decades. Over that time, the tractor became outdated, but its manufacturing persisted because of its strategic importance in both agriculture and national defense. Military and civilian uses of the como.yt. Beyond farm work, the como.yt was used by the workers and peasants militia as a tractor for small-caliber multiple rocket launcher systems. These tractors appeared in numerous military parades in the capital's main square, always freshly painted and fitted with specially prepared metal cabs. However, most civilian tractors lacked proper cabs, and the improvised wooden structures resembled birdhouses or plank shelters with holes instead of windows. For work in flooded rice paddies, the rear rubber wheels were replaced with enormous homemade metal wheels with massive cleats, significantly improving their off-road ability. The Con tractor factory produced not only the wheeled model but also the tracked Pyongyang 75 tractor, a licensed copy of the famous Soviet DT-75, widely used as an artillery tractor. The transition toward more modern tractors. Until the mid-1992s, the only tractors produced in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea were the wheeled Kola 28 and the tracked Pyongyang 75. With each passing year, the need for new and more modern models became more urgent. Finally, in the early 1992s, the Con factory began mastering the production of a new tractor, the Kola 2000, also inspired by a Soviet model, this time the NTZ-80. Economic and geopolitical challenges. Developing this more complex tractor was no easy task. At the beginning of the 1992s, the socialist bloc, led by the Soviet Union, collapsed, and with it ended all material, technical, financial, and food support for North Korea. Surviving under those conditions was extremely difficult, and advancing industry even more so. Foreign policy tensions only made the situation worse. The military and political leadership, headed by Kim Il-sung, feared losing power and facing the Western capitalist countries alone. As a result, the regime decided to concentrate its resources on nuclear and missile programs, leaving much of the economy behind. The result was a devastating famine that hit cities and provincial towns the hardest, taking, according to various estimates, between 250,000 and 3 million lives between 1994 and 1998. The tractor program continued, but at a reduced scale. The Kola 2000 was manufactured in limited quantities and used mainly for propaganda purposes, appearing in lavish parades organized by the new leader, Kim Jong-il, son of the late Shining Kim Il-sung, who died in 1994. Modernizing the old models. Due to the severe economic situation of the 1992s, mass production of the Kola 2000 was never possible. To meet the needs of the country and the military, and to keep the factory from becoming idle, it was decided to modernize the old Kola 28 units. The tractors received new engines and gearboxes, fresh paint, and, most importantly, the old wooden cabs were replaced with steel sheet cabins. If they used to look like little birdhouses, they now resembled empty, disorganized transformer boxes. This modernization process continued for 20 long years, keeping the tractors operational while the country waited for the chance to produce more advanced models. The Kola 804 and propaganda. Finally, in 2017, under the third Kim of the dynasty, Kim Jong-un, mass production of the new Kola 804 began. The Con factory was modernized specifically for this model, which likely copies a tractor from a Chinese manufacturer. The Kola 804 featured a locally produced 80-horsepower engine and four-wheel drive. Its transmission was mechanical with 12 gears. The tractor was heavily used for propaganda. During the Grand 2017 presentation, hundreds of brand new units paraded in formation in front of the main government building of the DPRK and drove through Pyongyang's main streets in perfect columns. Photos of the event spread internationally, and the star of the show was Kim Jong-un himself, who climbed behind the wheel of one of the tractors. Dual use, agriculture and defense. Just like its predecessors, the Kola 804 served not only in the fields, it also played a military role, towing multiple rocket launcher systems and appearing in parades for propaganda purposes. This duality, typical in the history of North Korean tractors, demonstrates how agricultural equipment can become a symbol of national power and ideological pride. The evolution of design and engineering. From the first Chollima 28 tractors to the Kola 804, a clear common thread emerges. Each model reflects North Korean engineering's ability to adapt despite economic limitations, international isolation, and military priorities. While the earliest tractors were assembled using Soviet-made components, later models incorporated locally produced parts and technical improvements that, though modest, allowed production to continue for decades. The aesthetics evolved as well, from improvised wooden frames to sheet metal cabins, and sturdier, more functional designs capable of withstanding intensive fieldwork and public display. Impact on society and the economy. North Korean tractors fulfilled not only agricultural and military roles, they also became symbols of self-reliance and technological progress. In a country isolated and short on resources, every new model represented an engineering achievement and a vital tool for the economy. Their presence in parades and propaganda reinforced the narrative of leadership and the collective effort of the people. If the story of these tractors, machines that go beyond the fields to defend and symbolize an entire nation, took you by surprise, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and activate the bell to uncover more secrets of North Korean engineering. See you on the next journey, where every machine has a story ready to be told.